Hello everybody. Happy Monday. So excited to be here today. I'm excited to share some tips with you on eyeliner. A lot of us, oh my gosh, you can see a cobweb up there. Look at that. You can see a cobweb up there. Oh my gosh, that is freaky. I just dusted in here like a month ago. So I guess I will be dusting that this afternoon. I'm going to give you 10 tricks to help you pop your eyes when it comes to pencil liner. A lot of people struggle with pencil liner. They don't like pencil liner. I think it's because it's kind of the nature of the beast kind of thing. Pencil liner can be bold. So I think a lot of people stray away from it for that reason. So I'm going to give you these tips. Now these tips, maybe you already know, maybe you don't know, but I'm going to tell you guys, this is going to be really good for you if you're not sure. So I'm going to be using the brown liner today. It's one of my favorites. I'm also going to be using a couple other ones to show you some tricks and tips on how you can integrate different liners, colors, all those fun things. Okay, so if you've used pencil liner before, comment below. If you've never used pencil liner before, comment me. Why haven't you used pencil liner? A lot of people are afraid to use pencil liner because they feel like it's intimidating because this one is like shot. So that's why I kind of wanted to go over it today. Okay, so I'm also going to be showing you guys how to use a nude one as well. Okay, so I got a lot of people who asked me how to use this nude liner as well, so I'm going to show you guys how to use the nude liner. Okay, so the first tip is people struggle with a complete line across here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can do that. Okay, but the first tip is warm up your liner. Guys, warm up your liner, warm up your liner. And it depends what kind of liner you use. So for example, some people use liner like that's from the 80s. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here it is right here. So some people use liner that's similar to like this. Okay, this is what I use sometimes for Halloween. Okay, just because the coloring, because I do my face and stuff. But if you use a liner like this, I've never heated it up, but I know like in the 80s they heated it up with a lighter, so you can heat that up. Now with the one I'm using, it is a gel liner, so it immediately goes on like butter. Okay, so I have two different liners here. I have a matte liner and I have a shimmer liner. Okay, and so that's going to work in your advantage because then you can play around and do different eye looks with that. Okay, so the first thing is warm up your liner. Okay, because when you warm up your liner, it's going to go on easier. Okay, so a lot of people struggle with this next one, which is use a dash concept. Okay, so I struggle with this dash concept myself. So just remember, I'm human as well, so I'm not perfect, but these are very helpful for those who struggle. Now, what I like to do is, and you shouldn't do this, but I am going to do it. So I'm just going to do a dash here. Okay, so do you see how I put a dash there? I'm going to hit another dash right there. And then I put another dash right there. Okay, so the reason why you want to start with dashes, so then you can connect the dots. Okay, so it's really important to make sure you have a really good tip on your liner, because then you're not worrying about it like being huge. Especially if you have hooded eyes like I do, you can make your liner cover so much that you don't even see your eyeshadow anymore. Okay, so then what you're gonna do then is start connecting the lines. Now you're noticing that I'm actually just lining my lash line, okay? So I am following this line, okay? I'm following where my lash is, okay? And I'm just gonna, now some people don't go that far in. I like to, because I have that almond eye, so it helps with that line. So do you see how just doing that dash concept really helps you find? And what I like is that you just kind of drag it along that lash right there. Just right along the lash, and then you go back in and you just connect the dots. Okay, so do you see how if you did too much liner and you held the pencil like that and did it that direction, right, that it would take up too much space? Holding it onto a side and actually getting it into that lash is going to help. And so that's going to help with another step that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. Okay, so connecting the dots, right? We're going back old school when we were kids. So warm up your liner, connect the dots on your lid. Now, also you can go in and you can create a line down here. Okay, and you don't need to use a lot, especially with gel liner. You can use too much. Okay, so now we'll get into another tip here in just a little bit. I'm getting far ahead of the cart here. So what I want you to do is remember that you can, I need to put that lid on there. So what I want you to remember is to put just a tiny little line down in here, because when you have small eyes like I do, you can tend to have too much going on there, and then you start making your eye look really tiny. Okay, so then what I like to do, well, let's make sure this is clean first. I like to take a little brush, and you can even use your finger if you want to. Now with this gel liner I'm using, I have probably 15 to 20 seconds before it dries because it is smudge proof. Okay, and I just like to kind of smudge it out. Okay, and you don't have to. I just like to kind of smudge it out. And just kind of make it blend in that area. Okay, now I'm only doing one side of my eye so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I need to, and you can even take a blender and smudge it out as well. That's why I like to have these little tiny blenders, because it really helps get in there and get that smudge going. Okay, so warm up your pencil, connect the dots, do a little bit of smudging, not a lot. Some people like really make it dark, and it can really make the eye look so tiny that it takes away from your eyeshadow. It takes away from all of that. So it's really important to remember that. Now, number 4 is making a tight line. And this is one of my favorite things to do because I struggle so much with the liner right in here. Now, what's great about tight lining is that it gives you the opportunity to give yourself fuller, longer lashes. So tight lining, and I know this is really gross for some people, and you're just taking that pencil and you're getting underneath that lash line. Okay? And you're taking away that pink. Now, what that's doing for you is taking away any illusions that you may have. Now, there's times where I just do tight lining by itself. Okay? So it really helps give it a really deep, dark, smoky look. And when you add that with mascara, it really helps. Some people can just tight line like that. Me, not so much. Okay? So tight line. Also, the rim inside the eye. Okay? So as you see, it kind of made it look a little bit darker and deeper. Okay? I like to think of it as if you've seen The Breakfast Club before. When the girl, I can't think of what her name is, but Molly Ringwald kind of puts a little bit of brown on her and it just really opens her up. Just gives her that natural look. That's what we're going for. But we really want to pop the eyes, because if you're going for a natural look, just a lip or whatever, it gives you the opportunity just to kind of put that on there. Okay? The next one, again, just, you know, going in and smudging that right into there. And using a cotton swab as well is helpful. If I mess up, I love to use a make-off spray, because then I can just dip my cotton pad in it, or my cotton swab, and I can just kind of touch up the areas. You can also use with a make-off spray to touch up. You can just put a little bit of it on your concealer brush, and do you see how that just touched up that spot right there that was kind of like poked out there, right? So that's why I like the pencil, because it's a lot more easier. So get yourself a really good make-off spray. I like this one because it's instantaneous. So I'll just pull it on there. I'll just like pull it off of there. Okay, the next one is you can turn it into eyeshadow, guys. So I've done this trick before. I'm going to do it again. And it's one of my favorite tricks. So it's actually called the reverse cat eye. Okay, so what you're doing here is you're just taking it and you're creating that line right there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of shadow. I'm not going to take very much. Okay, and I'm actually just going to take one that somewhat matches it, and I'm just pulling that liner with it. Okay, so I'm just creating liner with it. Now you could use just the brown as a liner if you wanted to, which would be fine. Let me pull this and kind of make the line a little bit. Okay, so do you see how I did that? And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a blender and I'm just going to pull it. Now, that's why I like to use shadow, because shadow really helps blend that eyeliner out. So we're using eyeliner, okay, for our eyeshadow. And all I'm doing, hi Dorothy, all I'm doing is I'm just smudging out that liner. And like I said, I'm using a brown liner. So I'm just going in and I'm just taking that brush and I'm just pulling it kind of just, I need to use this. It helps me. And all I'm doing is just pulling that liner and I like to take a little bit and just kind of pull it down. Now I have hooded eyes, so I definitely have to pull my eyeliner up this direction and looking into the mirror, because again, you can either be born with hooded eyes or get hooded eyes because of age. So you just have to roll the punches here. And so do you see how it just kind of created kind of a smoky look? Now what's great is if you want like a shimmery, my opposite side has shimmer to it. So I can, if I want to go in and create a shimmery look, I can so do that. I like to stick with matte just because I have mature skin. Matte always looks better. But you're not doing tons to your eye anyway, so you can definitely get away with using just a little bit of shimmer right in there, or you can tight line with the shimmer just to kind of add that to it, just to make it look a little bit more fancy if you want to. And so all you want to do is just get yourself a little bit of a brown shadow, and it'll just help you kind of smudge that out, or like I like to use a mini blender full. Okay, so you can either do that with wet or dry. So warm up your eyeliner, connect the dots along the lash line, tight line underneath. It gives you the appearance of longer, fuller lashes. Smudge just a little bit underneath the eye. Take a brush or your finger, and then you can turn it into a shadow if you want to, just by putting a little line, creating like a reverse cat eye. And that's exactly what that is a reverse cat eye. And how that would be reversed is if you didn't put anything up here and you just put liner down here, liner right here, and pull it up. Okay, but this is a really great natural smokier type of look. The other one, get yourself a really good makeup spray, concealer brush that has like a point to it, so then you can dip it in there, and then if you need to go right along there and just clean up any areas, it's really going to help make it look crisp and neat. Okay, and so the other one is choose a brown liner if you have mature skin. And the reason why they suggest, the makeup artist suggested brown liner is because it's more softer. I've noticed like women who are more mature, when they use a darker liner, it draws too much attention sometimes. And so it can look, and it can actually make the wrinkles, it can make the creases pop out more. So they just recommend, but again, it's total personal choice. It's just a recommendation to choose a brown liner over, you know, a dark black, if possible, especially if you're looking for more of a natural, neutral, earthy tone look. Okay, now number 8 is you want to kind of explore with colors. Okay, now I know I just kind of contradicted myself, but when you use a gel liner, you have total control over the color and the pigmentation of that look. Okay, so when you use a purple, it doesn't have to be as dark. As you saw, I really softened that. And again, I have about 10-15 seconds, sometimes 20, depends, before it becomes smudge proof. Okay, and so if you have hazel eyes, this pencil is really great for hazel eyes, corner, and then tight line, because purples and golds really pop out for hazel eyes. Okay, now another one is if you have brown or blue eyes, you can play with some navy colors. navy and this, like, it's a really pretty color, but gold really pops out blue eyes. Green and gold is really great for brown eyes. I did a look for that and it turned out really good. And then the other one is black, bronze, gray. All those look really good with hazel eyes too. So just kind of play with colors. Again, I kind of contradicted myself because most of the time, a day-to-day look, I would use a nude, natural look. But when you are trying to play, pop your eyes, play with color. When you have an event or you want to just kind of put a little bit on the side here and just kind of pull it over. Again, with gel liner, you have control. With a pencil, it's a lot harder. It drags, it's tighter, and it does smudge. Okay? So it's a little bit harder to keep that on. If you have ones like this, they don't come off, especially if you're have allergies, your eyes water all the time, like mine do. Mine water all the flipping time, all the time. It drives me nuts. So play with some colors. And that's why I like these liners, because you're getting more bang for your buck. You're getting 2 for the price of 1. And mine lasts me forever. Now, number 9, okay, is get yourself like a duo, sort of like this, that is black and nude. Okay, so again, you can wear black. If there's no rule that says you can't, it's just a suggestion, right? And so the reason why I suggest to a lot of my customers for a nude is because when you do like a smoky look with a purple or a navy or a green, you want to make your eye stand out more, okay? So what I like to do is I like to take the nude liner and put it right along this waterline, and it really makes that eye pop. So those of you who struggle with almond eyes, smaller eyes, getting yourself a nude liner really helps to pop that out so it doesn't look like squinty, right? That's what I was talking about when you see people who wear like just black liner and it's like their eye becomes like super tiny, right? So that gives you the ability to do a smoky look, play with a purple, play with a green, hi Katie, play with a blue, play with a green, and then you can put that nude down there and it just really gives you the ability to open it. You could also use a white one. I've never used white before. I prefer nude because it doesn't stand out as much. It just kind of gives a softer look. Okay, and then the last one is just create that smoky look. So just really pulling that liner, since I used liner for the shadow, all I did was just smoke that out. If you want to apply more, you can create more of a smoky look. So we have warm up your liner, right? Warm it up, gets it warm. It's a gel liner. Find yourself a gel one. They're so much easier and it drags a lot easier on wrinkly skin. Number 2, do the dashes. Hold your pencil to the side, not straight ahead, because remember, you don't want to take up too much space, especially if you have that sagginess hooded eye. The next one is put a little bit on the lower lash, smoke it out a little bit, create that smoky look. Tight line underneath. Not only is this going to give the illusion of longer, fuller lashes, but it's also going to create more of a smoky look for you for like a nighttime look, right? Get yourself a really good concealer brush. Take some makeup spray It's really easy to help, you know, make those fixes rather than like, you know, I find cotton swabs are a lot harder because they're thicker. With this, it has like a point to it, so it really helps to give it more of a defined look underneath, right? I'm just kind of fixing underneath that eye area there. I didn't get a chance to do that. Okay. And then the next one is turn it into an eyeshadow. All I did was create the line. I took a brush and I just smudged it. I just smudged it out to create a softer look. Okay. And so this is great for an everyday look. Use brown if you have more mature skin for an everyday look, but play with color. That's the next one. Play with some color. I feel like when you're first starting out doing things like this, it's so much easier if you start with more of a natural look versus popping that purple on there and you're like, whoa, right? And so, but play with color and remember the different colors work really, really well. Use a nude. Hi, Jennifer. Use a nude to help put underneath into that waterline right in there, because that's what's going to help open up that eye, especially if you're trying to do a smokier look. And then one of the last ones is get yourself a really poppin' mascara, okay? And I'm going to show you that here in a second. So I have to wear two types, but not everybody has to. I have to because of how tiny my lashes are. So it just helps my lashes to have two in there. And so I put on a regular and then I put on a waterproof. Now, you notice that I use smudge proof liner. I use waterproof. And the reason I do that is because it allows me to have serious wear time versus like before, by the end of the day, the oils on my face were removing everything. I don't know if you guys have ever struggled with that. Do you see how my lashes just pop? I love this mascara. It really just, hi Courtney, really just helps with that. And that's when you can go in and do the last one if you want to make it a little bit more smokier. You can definitely do that by taking that liner. And I just like to take a little bit of it. And you can just create more of a smokier look with that liner. Okay. So those are my 10 steps. Hopefully they were helpful for you. If you have any questions, I have my list. I have a diagram. I have all of that if you need that reference. I hope you guys have a great day. Have a great Tuesday. And I'll